And living in a building site inside the house, and the garden is no better. It's full of weeds. We've found some mushrooms this morning, but there's nothing that gives it any colour or any life. I'd really like to surprise my husband Steve by getting the garden sorted and making him believe that actually this house one day will be worth living in. So Garden ER, please help.
We're from Garden ER and we got your plea. This is Adam, Nick and Sven, who's going to be in charge of saving this garden today. And it is lifeless, dull, out of control, no colour, and short of changing its shampoo, I can't think what you're going to do with it, Sven.
We'll think of something.
So Nicole, who are we going to be surprising?
It's my husband Steve.
And what's the reason you want to surprise him?
Well, we've been renovating this house and it would be great just to have one thing finished.
Okay, because it's all in pieces and
That's
there's
right.
still just bits done. Sven, can you rise to this challenge?
Of course, we always do. It's quite a dark, morbid space, so what we're going to do, we're going to lighten it up with some nice light paving. Down the end of the garden, we're going to put a nice circular light feature in. That's Adam's job a bit later on.
Okay, so that's quite trendy.
Yeah, absolutely, and planting. Lots of nice shady plants.
So has all this paving got to come up as well?
Unfortunately, it does.
Right, lovely. That'll keep Nick occupied for the next 3 or 4 hours. Right, well, you've got a lot to do, and this is urgent because Steve needs to be surprised and this garden needs saving. You get on with it. I'm going to get Nicole to show me what else is going on in this renovation. Come on.
See
Right,
you.
Nick, as Katrina said, paving, get it all up. Adam, we'll go and check the patient out, I think. Leave him to it.
Okay.
Today's designer is Sven Wombwell. The patient is the light garden in Islington, North London. Sven's diagnosis is it's too dark and shady with no colour. Treatment is to lighten it up with paving, plants and a light feature. Because the garden is so dark, Sven's idea is to use light-coloured paving to open the garden up, bordered by formal and informal planting schemes. He's then going to make a circular light feature at the rear, framed by bold and unusual plants. The first job is to clear the garden and remove the existing paving.
I'm marking out the paving.
And I'm knocking down the wall. The area we've just marked out here is basically where we're going to dig out. We need to go down probably about 3 to 4 inches so we can put a nice layer of ballast underneath which the paving's going to sit on top of. So I'll get my spade. At this point of the garden, we're going to have our focal feature. I've designed a nice modern-looking light box, basically, that's going to have perspex tubes sticking out the top of it, underlit. Adam here has got the pleasure of actually figuring out how to build it. Go on then.
Yes. Just one question, Sven. I want to know final heights. Are you planning to have seating around it as well?
Yep.
Okay, so seating roughly about 40 or 50 centimetres high. Then a raised section for the tubes to come out of.
That's right.
But how much higher than the seating?
Seats 50, make it 25 above that.
Okay, so seating will be about here. The raised section for the tubing will be about there.
Perfect.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
create more light, Adam and Nick are drastically pruning one of the overhanging trees. Meanwhile, Sven is taking delivery of materials for the new paving. But because there's no rear access to the garden, everything has to be taken through the house.
We're at last got into sticking the slabs down. These are actually quite big, 60 by 60. The main reason for that is they go down really quickly, and also we're butt jointing them, so there's no need to point. These are got limestone chippings in them. They're quite a nice colour, not too light, but they also give off warmth, which I think is great for lighting up this garden.
Well, the paving is, I think, almost finished. We're having a little relax here. Sven, are you quietly confident?
As ever, yep. We've got about a third of the way through the paving. We wore ourselves out this morning lugging all the stuff in, so it's been a bit slow to pick up, but we're getting there, we're getting there.
Now, Adam,
Yes.
you're feature boy,
I know.
and I look where the feature should be, and there is nothing there. Where's the feature? What's happening? There's just a bit of wood in the ground and a piece of string.
You can't see anything.
No.
What can I say? The materials haven't turned up.
And how long is it going to take once they have?
5 minutes, just slap something together probably. Not really, no, I'm serious, I'm an artist. No, for a couple of hours, I think.
Right.
Any excuse.
So how much preparation can you do before they do
Nothing.
appear?
Nothing at all.
Is that genuine, Sven, Mr. Designer?
Adam never lies.
Sven has decided to create a central planting area in the middle of the paving leading up to the light feature.
Hang on, peeps. We need to figure something out here. What's that? I want to finish this row and narrow it down towards the feature. 2, 3 pavers wide, what do you reckon?
A bit 2?
Well, don't forget you've got a planting stretch going right through the middle, so I think 3.
Do you reckon that's too wide, though, with paver for the plant?
We've got, what, 64 plants, something like that?
About
So, yeah, so I think one slab width and then 4 slabs long planting area.
Okay.
Yeah, one slab on each side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
enough
okay.
to walk on.
It's easier anyway.
Well, it's end of day one in Nicole's garden, and I believe fast approaching along the newly paved runway of wonders, my boys. So Sven, the paving's finished.
It's all done.
Yeah?
It's a miracle, but it's all done.
You told me earlier this was going to be no problem. So what will you be doing tomorrow?
Lying down and taking it easy.
Just having a rest. Okay. Oh, well, it's going to be scintillating TV tomorrow, isn't it? Adam will be standing around waiting for his tools and his equipment. Nick will be having to lie down, and I don't know, Sven will be in the corner playing the guitar. Anyway, I think it's home time for all of us, because I think this evening Nick and I will treat ourselves to our favourite game of who's got the biggest hair. So roll on tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
Light-coloured paving bordered by formal and informal planting schemes. To the rear of the garden, he's planning to create a modern light feature surrounded by unusual plants. Now the light-coloured paving has been laid, it's already making the garden look a lot brighter.
Nick, I want you to start getting a few more slabs down. Adam, the wonderful feature at the end, and me, I'm going to sort the dodgy fences out. Off we go.
Finally getting around to doing the light feature. The beginning stages of it are 2 circles. I'm making a cake about so far apart. It's going to be around seating height, and from that we're going to have these perspex tubes. The beginning stages of that are marking out the circles. I've now cut the slots in the round circular piece of timber. I need to put this on top of some legs, so I've cut out a piece which is just wide enough for the legs to slot into. With a bit of luck, if I hammer it on, they'll fit in. Once I find a hammer, that is. I'll put longer ones in, and they'll be about 2 foot off the ground, just around seating height.
Let it move you. Let it move you. Move you. Let it move you.
Well, come on, let's go and see how it's all going. Nicole, let me introduce you to the much talked about feature in its embryo stage. I think it kind of looks useful for when Arthur and Lancelot pop round for a snack.
We don't have a dining table at the moment, so it could do the trick.
Excuse me?
I know it's not a table. What stage are you at with this? What more are you doing to it?
I need to clad the sides, and once that's done, I need to paint it. And finally, I need some perspex tubes. That's your job.
Right, so you haven't got the perspex tubes?
I need some perspex tubes.
You spent all day yesterday saying that you hadn't got your materials.
And I still haven't got
And you still haven't got all of them? Well, there's been some inefficiency somewhere. Anyway, Nicole and I will go and get them if that's all right with you.
That's right.
Take a look at the rest of the garden. What do you think? It's visiting time.
Yeah, it looks like there's still work to do, but it's taking shape.
Well, Nicole and I have come to Haymar Acrylic Fabrications in Bethnal Green in East London to do our little errand for Adam, and Jennifer's going to be sorting us out. She is our perspex guru for today. Now, Adam's told you exactly what he needs.
That's right, it's 15 perspex rods, 10 millimetres diameter,
Right.
and 1 metre long each.
Can we manage that? Yeah, sure, I'll go and get them for you.
Thank you.
I think they're going to be perfect. Thank you very much, Jennifer.
Thank you, they look great.
But they won't look great unless we get them back to Adam, who's doing the feature that they've got to go in. And it's becoming a bit of a saga, so we better get going.
Planting time. Best part of the job. It's been quite difficult to choose plants for this garden, mainly because it's quite shady. The best thing to do if you've got a problematic part of the garden to design, keep it simple. Don't try and put too many different varieties in, it doesn't necessarily work. You're better off choosing 3 or 4 varieties and just making them work better for you. Just over here we've got Orcuba Japonica Roseanne. Lovely glossy leaves and berries. This is what I'm calling the informal part of the garden. Informal because of the paving, it's quite staggered. So we're putting plants on both sides which don't necessarily match. Just up here, where the informal planting ends, we've got a lovely camellia here, lovely glossy leaves. With camellia, make sure that your soil is acid. If it's not, put it in a pot with ericaceous compost. That's compost for acid-loving plants. If for any reason you find that your leaves go yellow, chlorotic, then feed it with an acid plant food. Just up here is where the exciting bit starts. We've got the formal planting. Formal in that it leads up to where Sven is just finishing off the light feature, which I couldn't finish. Just over here we've got a Rustifiner, a Clematis Armandii, lovely evergreen leaves. Just over there a Fatsia, but more about those later. Need to get planting.
What I'm putting down here is landscape fabric. This is where the gravel's going to go. All it does is literally stop the weeds from growing up. It's like making a bed.
Don't forget your hospital corners, Sven. You'll never make it. You're probably wondering why I'm digging a hole for a pot full of twigs here. This is no ordinary twig. This is Rustifiner, otherwise known as the staghorn sumac. Why staghorn? Just take a look. One great feature about it is the downy stem of it. Don't just buy plants just for the flower. There are fantastic reasons for buying plants. It could be autumn colour, which this has a great autumn colour. It has a lovely downy stem. The only problem with it is that it can be invasive. It can throw up suckers from the base. Just keep an eye on that, which is why we're giving it plenty of room to grow. Clematis Armandii, something you'd normally see flowering in spring up against the wall. I'm going to be quite radical with this one. I'm going to take all the canes out and spread the branches all over the floor, and we're going to have a lovely spring carpet of creamy white flowers. The cylinder that I made earlier needs cladding on the sides. I've got this 8mm external flexi-ply, which I'm going to clad the outside with and make a cylinder from which I'll have these Perspex tubes coming through. So I've marked it out and now I'm going to cut it.
Hi there, we're back, and I have vital prescription collected for the camellia.
And I've got the Perspex rods.
Lovely.
There we go.
Thanks a lot.
So ain't we done good?
You did really well today. I'm impressed.
And since we went,
Yeah.
you've done a few pencil marks.
I've been busy planting and doing other things.
You haven't cladded it or nothing.
Cladded it or
mister.
nothing.
You not know.
I couldn't
bit of
clad
pencil.
it because I was waiting for you, because I need to be able to get my hand in and position these. So it's down to you that I've been taking so long.
So why didn't you ask us to go earlier?
I asked you yesterday.
Don't be no, you never.
Let's get the garden done.
If he's Pinocchio, you'd have had my eye out by now. Right, so what happens? You've got them.
I've got them, yes.
They're going here.
They are. They're going to be positioned randomly through here.
Yeah.
Possibly different heights, I'm not sure yet. Through these holes, and they're going to be lit from the bottom, and at night time they're going to put on a great show.
I'm just about to plant this Fatsia japonica here. Adam's still working on his light feature, on my light feature, I
Your
should
light
say.
feature, thanks.
And we've got Nick over here planting some bamboo. We do need extra help, so Katrina, where are you?
As a finishing touch to the light feature, Adam is putting white gravel around the Perspex tubes to reflect the light. Now all that's left is to clean up the paving before Steve, Nicole's partner, comes home. Remember, this was what Nicole and Steve's garden looked like yesterday.
Emergency procedure finished. We did lose the light. It took a bit longer than we expected, but it is finished now. And Nicole, this garden was dull, it was lifeless, and I think we have revived it pretty well, don't you?
Yeah, it's really got its life back. It looks excellent.
Do you like it then?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Sven, is this how you imagined it was going to look?
It is actually. I'm well chuffed with it. It looks really good.
Right, well, the proof of the pudding, or the proof of the garden, is of course what Steve is going to think of it. Now, Nicole has already had to hold him up a bit from coming home from work, so he's deeply suspicious and we think a bit worried.
Yep.
So do you want to go and keep a lookout for him
I will do.
and get him
I'll
in
bring him
quick
back.
so that the poor
Okay.
man knows there's nothing to worry about?
And Steve has no idea that Nicole called the garden ER team to help with the transformation.
Not what have I done? Any excuse for a grove, honestly.
Wow.
I didn't do this.
No, right, okay.
Steve, hello. We are from Garden ER.
Okay.
And Nicole told us just what a sick little puppy
It
this
was
garden
sick.
was. He doth bestride it as it is his own.
So this is what you sent me out for?
I'm afraid, I know you didn't want to go and get drunk in the snow.
No. It was hard. It was hard.
I'm afraid I did.
So what have we done?
What have we done?
You haven't done anything.
Already, you can't remember what it was like, can
I
you?
can't remember what it was like. No. Didn't we have a circle of bricks around here that
Yep, gone.
quite happy that they've gone.
Yeah.
Good.
You had nasty little bit of wall either side there.
Definitely.
Gone.
Yes. Excellent. It's really nice.
That is the end of another garden ER, another garden successfully resuscitated. I do wonder whether we might have to get a real doctor here just to cope with Steve's shock. He's going to go really pale soon and shake. We're going to leave you to enjoy your garden because there are other gardens out there that are going to need us. So come on, lads, back to work.
Well, this time of night.
I need a beer now.
Always remember, when you're using power tools, do follow the recommended safety instructions.